Hey y'all, Courtney Lyons here with Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and today I'm coming at you with a different kind of video. This is going to be one that is like all diamond paintings, or not all the diamond paintings, but kind of like some of the diamond paintings that give me like emotional, like stir something emotional in me, because they either have a story behind them or they remind me of something in my life that kind of enacts like a very emotional, what would you even say, like just an emotional reaction. It causes an emotional reaction when I see these kits. So I don't even know how many there are. Let's just get started. I do have a sore throat, so we'll see. Hopefully I last this long. But that's why I didn't do an intro. We're pretty sick here, where I usually, like have it facing me, the camera facing me, and I talk to you and stuff. So we're just not going to do that this time because I don't feel good and I don't feel like going in front of the camera. But so these first two are the first ones that give me kind of like emotionally stir me and have a story behind them. I do also want to point out these are not rainy day kits. I don't actually own all the kits here that I am showing you, and there's even some of them that I plan on starting like right away. And rainy day kits that I do have that would be my top rainy kits, surprisingly, are not usually on this list. Just because there's some that I want to start right away if I were to get them, or some that I'm not holding off for any reason, but they just give me an emotional reaction. So just to note that difference, it's very different, at least in my book. So these two right here are both Yume Arts, and they're both with Diamond Art Club. The one on the left is Flower Delivery, and the one on the right is Under the Stairs. And the reason these really emotionally mean something to me is because they are Kiki's from Kiki's Delivery Service, which, if you don't know, is a Studio Ghibli movie, and it's about this witch Kiki and her cat, which I am blanking on the name. Gigi, there we go. And she goes off to go serve people in this town as the witch, which she goes to, she goes to help them out. She just has adventures, and it's just really heartfelt. And I used to watch this movie a lot when I was younger. I would ask all the time for my dad to get it from Blockbuster, and especially during the Halloween time, but also like even deeper than that. I watched this a lot during when there was a lot going on with my parents at the time, and so I think that for that reason it was just a comfort movie to me. It's just one of those like comfort feel-good movies. So yeah, that's why this one, just both of these invoke just a really deep meaning, and both of them are obviously beautiful as well, and they're both giant. So I do want to get started on, I kind of want to do Kiki's Delivery Service during the springtime sometime, but I don't know, we'll have to see. I'd love to get the one on the left done sooner rather than later and be able to hang it up. But I'd love to also have them both done and then have them go together. So, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but they're both beautiful, and they just make me happy looking at them. Okay, so this next one is actually not a diamond painting yet, technically. It is my own artwork that I finished recently, and this definitely has emotional meaning behind it. It's the whole reason I did this one, because I am going to plan this as my custom diamond painting kit from Diamond Art Club when I get one more gold card for their treasure quest cards. If you don't already know, if you get enough of certain types of cards from them, then you can, like, the top item you can get or redeemable gift you can get is a diamond painting that is a custom painting from Diamond Art Club, which is definitely new, and I made this painting specifically for that. So I actually used acrylic art markers. They're Art X markers. They're acrylic markers. And I used colored pencil, and I used a blending agent with a paintbrush to blend some of the colors in. It was so much fun. This was my first time trying this mixed media, these two mixed media in particular, because usually I use colored pencil and I do very realistic drawings. So it was cool to kind of get more of a, I don't know if cartoonish is the right word, but not as realistic. And I wanted to do that because I wanted the bright colors for the diamond painting. But also the biggest reason this emotionally means something to me is since we've lived out where we live right now, we've been able to see the Northern Lights a lot. And it has been seriously the most incredible nature event that we have been able to see. And we've been able to see it as a family. And it's just been amazing. So yeah, that definitely means a lot to me. Okay, so this would be the next one. I also don't own this kit. Like, I guess technically I don't own the last kit yet, but I will eventually. But this one right here is The Secret Garden, and this is a Josephine wall. First off, I don't own any Josephine walls, and I would absolutely love this one in particular. Oh my gosh, but it's so hard to come by. So if you guys know of anybody destashing this one for a reasonable price, I would absolutely love this. So the reason this really means a lot to me is this was one of my absolute favorite, can you hear my cat in the background? This is my absolute favorite books growing up, was The Secret Garden. And I just really love Josephine Wall's art. So just seeing this, she's so good at getting like expressions on faces. And I love that this is a portrait that is also very realistic, but also has so much greenery in the background. And just that part in the book, I hope I'm not spoiling it for anyone. It's kind of a classic, so I'm sure people have read it before. But yes, that part in the book where when she first opens up the garden, it was so magical the first time I read it, and I think I've read this book over 10 times. I haven't read it in a really long time recently, which, looking at this picture, totally makes me want to pick it up and read it to my kids. It's such a good book. If you've not read this book before, it's a classic. It's a must read. Everybody must read this at least once in their lifetimes. But I don't know, like it's the magic of the adventure of when you're a little kid. That's just, it's so wholesome. I love this book. So anyway, that is why this one means a lot to me, because even named after one of my all-time favorite books. Plus, it just kind of reminds me of that time in my life where I had enough time to just fall into a book in a way that just where you completely get immersed in a book. And that's just hard to come by because it just doesn't happen anymore. Okay, so for this next one, this is something that means a lot to me. It reminds me of my mom, and I'm actually saving this one for her. Hopefully she doesn't see this video. I don't think she's been watching my videos lately because she's been busy, so hopefully she doesn't see this yet, but I'm going to save this one for her for Christmas because it is, first off, she saw this this was one of my sneak peeks, one of my first sneak peeks ever, and it just reminds me of when I was younger. Hold on, I gotta go let the cat out. He's driving me nuts. Okay, poor kitty was out in the snow. Oh, you're all wet. I'm sorry. Okay, so anyway, my mom has always been super artistic, and she painted these birdhouses when I was younger, and she always had them up. No matter where we moved, she always put them up somewhere in the house. And we moved a lot as little kids, or when I was younger. So, and I just remember being so fascinated with these birdhouses that she built. I don't know if she built them or if she bought them that way, but she totally was the one that painted them. And she did such an amazing job. Like, she went and painted each individual brick on the sides and then the shingles on the top. And there's one that I swear was shaped just like this one. And then I want to say she had like those pretend feather birds. I don't know if you guys remember that. It's definitely like an older kind of an older decoration trend that people used to have, where they'd have those like really realistic birds. And I just remember, I don't know if she had them on the birdhouse, but I remember having them around the house. And so just like this one really, really reminds me of that, and it's very nostalgic for me. So I will be saving this one for her. I don't know how much I'll have to find out if she would like me to finish it first and then hand her. Either way, I'll give it to her for Christmas. She does love diamond painting, but I don't know if she would have time for something this big. But either way, I'm sure she'd love to have it. I just need to find out from her if it's something that she wants me to finish for her and hand to her finished, or if she would like to have this to actually work on. But yes, it's totally right down her alley, and it reminds me so much of those childhood memories of just sitting and staring. I mean, I've always been fascinated by art, but I seriously would just sit and stare at these birdhouses and just enjoy the detail of what she painted. And then I'd have her like over and over again explain to me. I don't even know. I talk to her about the birdhouses all the time. It's so funny. And it's funny too, because now I have like my kids who do the same thing to me, will ask me a million of the same questions about something. And my mom was so much more patient with me than I am with my kids with a million questions, because I just remember her like answering me all the time when I'd ask her a million questions about these birdhouses that she painted. Anyway, yeah, that's very nostalgic for me. Okay, so this next one, this is Abram Falls. I don't remember what the last one was called. I'll try to remember to link all these down below. But is this Abram Falls? No, that's a different one. Okay, this is Abraham Hunter, though. Autumn Glory. I think this one's called Autumn Glory. Now, this one's really cool because where we live here is just absolutely gorgeous. And I loved where we lived before. I miss the people there especially. But we've always been very much outdoor people. And we lived in a subdivision that was just like surrounded by people, which was fine. I loved the people that we were around, and we were happy there. But there's also like, we always talked about how we were never going to stay somewhere like that because we wanted to be closer to nature, and we were living in the deserts in Utah. So not that there's not beautiful nature and stuff out there, but there's, in a way, we're so much closer to nature out here. And so when we first moved out here to where we are now, I remember going on this hike. And I won't say the trail or anything, but it's a trail that goes around a lake, and it's a smaller lake, and it's not too bad of a hike. I think it's maybe 2 miles to go from one end to the other, and it's a round trip one. And there's this one area that I just remember going on last autumn. We never did go on it this autumn. We probably should still, but we got to this one area where, so if you look at the left side of the painting, pretend there's a trail there. So we're coming down that trail towards like the viewer you guys looking at the picture, and then you cross a bridge, which would be like behind like in front of the painting where you can't see, and then you'd go around and you'd start coming back the other way, and there was a trail that would go right along the edge like this, and it looked exactly like this. Like this, it's reminding me exactly of that trail. And I just remember when I first went on that trail and I walked around, I just remember feeling like looking at this exact same view. I swear it's the same place, even though it's not. I just remember looking at it and being like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to live here. This makes me so happy to be able to be here in this beautiful area. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so moving on. This one right here is called A Savior is Born, and most of you probably already know I'm very religious. I am a Christian. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So this is just something that's very, very special to me, is especially now that it's starting to become Christmas time. I'm actually working on this one right now. I'll try to pop up with a picture of my progress so far. I'm surprised at how much I'm loving doing this one. I mean, I knew I would love doing this one for like oh, my head. I'm sorry. We're so sick here. And my throat is killing me, so I'm hoping to get through this. And I'm sorry if I sound like raspy. But yeah, I knew I would love this image, but I didn't realize how much I'd love doing even just the colors. Like, even though there's a lot of grays and browns and like yellows, I'm just loving it. And I think it's because I love the image so much and it means so much to me. Plus, it's Diamond Art Club, which means that no matter what color you're using, they're amazing to work with. So it's just been a fun time. I've loved it. Anyway, so yeah, this is a Savior is Born, and I'm going to try to get this one finished by hopefully this month. I don't know it. It'll probably move it into the month of December, and that's okay. But yeah, that way I can put it up during the month of December and be able to just have it as display for Christmas. So that's why that's why I wanted to start on this one right away. Also, I am using this for my Winter with DAC kit. Not necessarily kit. What am I trying to say? My Winter with DAC, it's an event, sorry. So that's the event that I'm doing that one for. Okay, so this one is Gethsemane, and for similar reasons, this one means a ton to me. This is a Manny Manzano Diamond Art Club. This one actually is also going to be one of my rainy day kits, and so this is one that I am saving especially. I think though that I think I will try to do it for springtime for this time around during Easter because of the significance of that time, or maybe beforehand so I can get it up for Easter. But this is one of my first Diamond Art Club purchases too, because I saw this one and I didn't even know anything about Manny Manzano or all the different artists or anything like that. I just knew I had to have this one because it is so symbolic of Christ taking on all of our pains, all of our hurts, and all of our sins to be able to live with God again. So this one means a lot to me. So this one, also Manny Manzano, is, I'm blanking the name. It'll be linked down below. But this one's also, it's just a very scriptural one. She has a lot of them that are like that, but these are the ones that stand out the most to me. The loaves and fishes one is, it's from the New Testament when Christ took I'm trying to remember. It was like 7 fish and like, I don't remember, 10 loaves of bread. I don't remember the exact number, and he ended up feeding a multitude with it, even though it did make sense. Like, that shouldn't have been enough to feed everybody, but it was. And I just find that in my own life, it has been that way so much, where it doesn't seem like, there's been times we've gone through where things don't seem like it's going to be enough, but we always are blessed. Like, there's always blessings to look for, and it's like so many times where even just like at the grocery store the other day, where I had lost my cards and I was in the process of getting new ones, so I was trying to use Apple Pay, but at Walmart they don't take Apple Pay. And so a lady came up, and I was just like, I had all 3 kids with me. I was so stressed. And a lady came up and gave me or paid for our groceries. And I was like, oh my gosh, you do not need to do that. It's so nice of you. And she's like, I just had a feeling like you needed it. And I believe that God works through other people to bring blessings to each other. And so that was just one of the many times where in my life where I felt like loaves and fishes, like like there's so much more that came out of something small. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. I forgot to point out that the last 3 I do own, and then this one I just purchased as a recent release from Diamond Art Club, and this is called Cottage Core Witch, and I honestly don't have like a big story behind why this one emotionally gets me, but it does. And part of it are the geese, those goofy little silly geese, because it reminds me of what is that book called? Goose Girl. That book is amazing. I mean, I haven't read the following books that come from it, and I'm sorry. I'm slowing down, guys. I'm going to try to make it through the rest of this video without sounding like I'm dying. But yes, the Goose Girl, like, I think this, like, when I was reading that book, even though the girl doesn't look like how the girl in the book is described, this is how I imagined her world. Like, it's so good. I need to go back and read that book. I'm totally going to go back and read that book. I want to start that book. But yeah, it's so cute. First off, it's just gorgeous. This is one I definitely would love to start. I don't know, probably in the springtime. I want to start it almost right away. It's so dang cute. But yeah, I think that it just brings back the memories of reading a really good book. Like, she's reading a book. Also, it reminds me of Untitled Goose Game. Anyway, super cute painting. All right, this one right here, I swear this one has featured on my channel so many times because it's just gorgeous. But this one gives me a lot of nostalgia as well, because anytime we go to the beach, one of my all-time favorite activities to do is to look for shells or fun little beach items. And so this Beachcomr Bounty just makes me happy, because it just makes me think of all the fun things to be picked out of this pile of just adorable little trinkets, I guess. So yeah, I think that's why. Plus, I just love the colors. The sea green colors and the water in that bottle are just gorgeous. So Crafting with Shay, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Crafting with Shay has finished this. Shay with Crafting with Shay has finished this one pretty recently, and I think she did all the extra changes that DP with Sparklers has. So you should go check out her channel. I'll try to remember to link her down below too. But this one, yeah, that's what it reminds me of. All my little beach walks where I'd pick up random shells, that sand dollar there. Oh my gosh, guys, I found a sand dollar on the beach, like actually found one, and it was so perfectly put together, and just sometime in all my moves it ended up being broken, and I was so sad about it. But anyway, yeah, love that painting. Okay, this is one I do not yet own, and this one is a Jaded Gem Shop. And yeah, it's Cat Fedora, of course. I love Cat Fedora. I don't think I was saying the name of the other ones. The Cottagecore Witch was Brita Konya or Ari Illustrations. And then Beachcomr Bounty is, I want to say Amy something. Amy Stewart, I want to say, is the artist. And both those were Diamond Art Club. But anyway, so this one is Cat Fedora, and this is a Jaded Gem Shop. And yeah, the reason this one really emotionally gets me is that this was me as a little kid. I seriously walked through the hallways of school reading, and I'd get made fun of all the time. And some teachers would tolerate it, some would not care. Like, anytime we'd go to the bathroom, I had a book in my hands and I was reading on the hallway. I did not want to waste a minute, which is interesting because now that I'm older and I know that I have ADD or ADHD, we still don't know, but one of those, from what I understand, they're kind of very, very similar anyway. But I just my brain always has to be busy. I always have to be learning something or doing something, or I cannot sit and not have my brain busy, which is probably not always healthy, but that's okay. I love it, and that's how I was as a little kid. No matter where I was going, I always had to have a book with me to keep my mind busy, and I just would go on these wild adventures in my books, and I loved it. So anyway, that's why this one means a lot to me. It just reminds me of me as a little kid. I was very just shy and awkward, and I just wanted my nose in a book all the time. Okay, now this one, it's the cat in this painting for me. This is a Craftably. I am blanking the name. I don't remember the name of it. But yes, it's a Craftably, and the white kitty. Oh, good gracious. I used to have a white kitty named Snowball, and she was just my life. I loved that little thing growing up, and she lived to be about 21 years old, but we had to put her down, sadly, because she was having a lot of health issues. So, but she did live to a ripe old age. And I saw this one. I almost snagged it when someone was selling it on the Craftably page on Facebook. Oh, my throat. Okay, there's a couple more I need to get through. But yes, this one just reminds me of her, and just the little look on her face, it makes me think of her. She was white with blue eyes, and this is kind of a fuzzy picture, but anyway, even the whole painting is just beautiful. And I love hydrangeas, so hydrangeas are that back there in the picture. And yeah, this one, the painting, all of it itself, like, I don't have like a house that looks like that or anything like that. We never had a fountain or something like that. It's just this little white kitty reminds me of my snowball. Okay, so this one, it's called Zinnia Bouquet, and many of you might not know that my daughter's name is Zinnia. So this one, it's from Dreamer Designs. It's out of stock right now. So I don't own the last painting, and I don't own this one either. But it just reminds me, of my daughter Zinnia. My husband used to plant flowers with his mom, and they'd plant zinnia flowers, and he always said that he was going to name his first girl Zinnia, and so we named our daughter Zinnia, and I love that name. So, and even the flowers just remind me of her. Like, she loves color. She loves coloring. She's just beautiful and delicate, and just a little bit, what's the word for it? A little bit of a diva. And these flowers make me think of like someone that's exactly like that. So she's so cute. She's so sweet. And so this totally, I want to pick this up. It's out of stock right now. I've seen it on DStash a few times, but I don't want to pick it up there because they recently got their new squares out. So where their grid is tighter, and then their drills have been updated. So I haven't yet bought any of their new stuff, but with these updates. But I would love, this might be the first one when it comes to when it comes into stock, and I will message them and ask if it is something that, like, if it's gonna be the updated version, which then I'd love to get it. So okay, I believe that's it, guys. So thank you guys so much for joining me with this one. I'm gonna go take a throat lozenge and go to sleep. But I hope you guys liked this. I kind of thought about this idea when I was looking at the one I'm working on right now, which is The Savior is Born, and just thinking, I'm like, what are the other ones that I absolutely have this emotional attachment to? Like, that I don't, like, what are ones that I want to, or that I don't even own yet, that I just, like, ones that I just see and get a very emotional reaction with. So, yeah. That would be these kits. I think there's probably more, I'm sure. But for now, those are the ones that I decided on. So thank you for watching, guys. Bye.